Hello everyone and welcome to another day where we're going to be playing Trap Chess. Trap Chess is an app in the App Store for iPhone and Android. It's chess, but you have the ability to lose pieces on squares. So some squares will have traps hidden on them. I've chosen one landmine. My opponent has 16. So for me, there's only one square that my opponent may hit that they could lose a piece, and it has to match that piece, but they have 16. So there's 2 queen landmines, 2 rook landmines, 2 knight, 2 bishop, and 8 pawn. Hello, thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. Excellent, so we're going to start up a game right now. My opponent has made their first move, so I'll go ahead and make my move. Let's see, I'm just setting this up. Cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and protect that pawn in the center. That way, if my opponent takes the pawn on d4, I will take back with my knight. They will get 1 point, and I will get 3 points. Let me move this a little bit closer. There we go. Okay. I'm also going to move my knight out again. I want to get my knights next to each other just because I like my knights. So I'm going to do that right now. Get a drink. Okay. Now, my opponent could have a landmine. It could be a pawn landmine. I'm going to go ahead and move my pawn up. If there's a landmine there, I'm going to lose it. Perfect. It's safe. Awesome. So that forces my opponent to have to save their knight. Perfect. All right. And they're opting to attack. So I can protect my pawn by moving my knight. So we're going to do that. That also blocked their pawn from going any further. And now my queen is protecting my knight because my queen on d1 protects it. Ooh, interesting. My opponent's getting a little aggressive. I'll go ahead and retreat. Great to hear. All right, let's see. So my knight is attacking their pawn on f5. They're protecting it with their knight on e7. So I'm not going to take it. They're protecting my bishop from going, or preventing my bishop from going to g5. That's the point of that pawn move right there. Let's see. Okay. I don't want to move my pawn up. I think it'll be a problem. So let's just do that. Open up my bishop to come out. Have my knight come out on that diagonal. It is blocked by, or my queen come out on that diagonal. It is blocked by my knight right now. So, oh, they don't like that pawn there. So, okay. We'll take no pawn landmine. Nice. Sometimes you'll hit a landmine and you'll lose the piece. But in this case, they didn't have it there, and they didn't have one on d5 either. So I know those squares are safe for pawns. Let's see. Cool. Gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move out my bishop. Get my bishop situated here. Now, if you have any questions about trap chess or chess in general, let me know. I'm a chess teacher. So, all right, let's see. That's a good move. It's good to bring out your knights and your other pieces. Setting up your pieces and like pushing them forward and developing them gives you a lot more opportunity and to attack and defend. It makes your side of the board a lot stronger. So I'm going to develop my bishop. Just move it out. It's only going one square, but it does something. Still thinking. My opponent's pretty aggressive. I don't see where they would attack, so we're just going to push the knight away. Move up my pawn, attack the knight. The knight has to scram. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Yep, they move back. That was good for me. I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I'm a castle. I like having both of my knights on the right-hand side. Also, now they have retreating squares they can go to if I want to push them back. So, move my rook over. So I can push that pawn on e3 to e4. I think that's a good move. My opponent's doing a lot here with their pawns, so... Before they can do anything, we're going to take that pawn out of the way. I think I was afraid there was a knight landmine there and I would lose my knight, but it looks like it's safe. So I'll just go for that. That also sets me up for that f7 attack because I can put my knight there, fork the queen and the bishop, or the queen and the rook. I can put my bishop there, which checks the king, and the king will have to run. It'll have to go to d7. So if I can get a tempo going where I attack, that would be pretty good. Okay. Let's hope. Yep, no landmines. All right. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Let's see. So now I'm forking the queen and the rook, so one of them has to be chosen to survive. Let's see. They're putting a lot of pressure on that e3 square. I'm just checking. I have 1, 2, 3 pieces defending it right now. They have 2 attacking it, so I'm still good. Move the pawn up, they'll have 3. That's still fine. All right, let's take the rook. The rook is mine. Cool. And that also opened up... Yeah, so now that my knight is there too, I could also move my queen if the knight on f6 gets moved. My queen does have a shot on the h5 square, which is pretty nice because the h5 square would be a check. I have my bishop lined up for the f7 square. Oh, that's fine. Why would you do that? Leave me alone. Don't do that. Get out of there. Okay, let's see. That rook is totally safe, so I'm not really going to worry about it. But what I could do is I could make things a little more difficult for the queen. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll make things a little more difficult. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. To play some... Hey, what's up? Oh, here comes more of an attack, but that's okay. The bishop is worth less than the rook is, so I'm just going to keep going. Let's try to... Let's make the queen regret ever coming to my side of the board. So that means the only square the queen can go to where it's safe is a3. So that's good for me because there's not a lot of moves that can do. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. You guys rock. I appreciate it. You know, the first live, the first time I did this, there weren't a lot of people coming in, and now it's nice to just have people showing up. You guys are absolutely awesome for checking this out. I'm trying to look at a way to trap that queen so it can't get away, but I think I gave it that a3 out. But it just makes it a little more difficult for the queen to do much. Also, I have this move. If there was a bishop landmine on f7, that would have ruined my whole plan. The point of this move is now I opened up the x-ray attack from b1 to attack the rook on b8, and my opponent has to address the check from the bishop that I moved, which means go right down and take the rook. Now I have a pretty good idea of how to get through. Oh, it's going well. Thanks for asking. Just released in Canada and India. However, I don't know if it's downloadable in those countries because I'm not in those countries. So if you're in Canada or India, try downloading it. Let me know if it works. If it doesn't, I need to know and I'll try to fix it. Or I'll do my best to fix it. It's my first time doing something like this, so... All right, let's see. I'm thinking... I know my opponent is looking at that knight right now. If they take the knight, the bishop can be taken too. That's okay, because I did do these trades on purpose. Let's see. That knight is protecting the bishop on c8, the knight on e7, so that's why I'm hesitant to take there. However, it's the only piece protecting that bishop. So I am considering, you know what, let's just do this. So I'm going to lose a bishop here, but and a knight. That's okay. We'll just go back and forth. Now that bishop is pinned on c8, so I'll be able to take it. Countries. Yeah, I'm working on other countries, but some of them it's a little more difficult to release. There's a little more like work that has to go into it. Were you in, I think you were in Indonesia? Working on that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just take that bishop. So now that knight is pinned too, and I have two pieces attacking that knight. I have my bishop on g6 and my rook on c8 attacking the e8 knight. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's take that knight. We're going to try to move forward and go for the checkmate. All right. Boom. Go for the pawn. And now it's pretty good. It's looking good for a checkmate. So earlier, my opponent brought their queen in to b2 a little early. And attacking like that basically put their queen in a position where it was kind of trapped and it couldn't do much. And then I made it go to the side of the board. Pieces are weakest in the corners and on the sides of the board. So sometimes if you force your opponent to put a piece there, it makes it, it's pretty beneficial for you because they can't do as much with that piece. So the queen only had the side of the board as a way out, the way I moved my bishop back to block the retreat and then put my rook there. So it let me get their queen out of the game and made things easier. Now that the game is over, we can see the positions of all the traps. I was pretty close to the queen landmine. There was a queen landmine on f8 and a queen landmine on d6. There were rook landmines on g5 and a8. The only landmine I had was on a1. It was a knight one. But good game. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for playing. I'm going to throw a new code into the chat. So whoever wants to play can jump in next. 12F. So I'll throw that in the chat. And I'm going to, once again, start with one landmine. When I lose a game, I'll increase my landmines, but whoever's playing is more than welcome to start with 16. And okay. I know where mine is and what it is. Looks like someone joined. Thanks for joining. So we're going to start with, we'll do this pawn. Looking good. Okay. So I'm going to go for the center. The center is a good place now that I have the c5, d5, e5, and f5 squares covered with my pawns. I feel pretty confident. But any of those squares could actually have a pawn landmine. My opponent has 16, so that's a big deal. Let's see here. Let's bring out my knight. I'm trying my best. Yeah, so some people in the last few streams requested other countries for the app to come out into. So I did do Canada and India. I was able to do them pretty quickly, but some other countries are a little more difficult. So if you have a country you'd like the app to be released in, let me know if it's your country, and I'll do my best. I can't make any promises, but I will put in some time and energy to try to make it happen, because I just would love to play with anyone that wants to play, and I think it's so cool to be able to play with people from around the world. I think that's amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so that's a push there. See, like, I like the idea of going d4 to d5. I like it because it kind of like blocks things. However, I don't know. I could just be moving there and losing a piece to a landmine. So I think it's better to do the take, because at least I know I'm getting something in return. So we're going to do the take. Okay, no landmine. I was so certain there was going to be a landmine. What's it play, Chip? More this week. Cool. All right, let's see. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Okay. So, the D5 square is open for my knight, which is helpful. It does apply pressure on the C7 square, which is possible to do a fork if the queen moves out of the way. My opponent can push me back, though, with the pawn to C6, so I don't think I'm going to do that move. But it is an option that I have. I do like this. Now that their pawn on F6 is out of the way, I like the idea of going to G5 and applying some pressure on the queen. My bishop on G5 is protected by the knight on F3. Which is good, so I can attack the queen and not worry, because the queen is worth 9 points. The bishop is only worth 3. So I'll do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and move forward with that. Cool. Okay. And then I'm going to set this up for later. This sets up an X-ray attack on the H5 square with my bishop. So the moment my knight is out of the way, they blocked it. They saw that. They knew right away. They were like, no, you can't do this. I'm not going to let you do this. So instead, we'll put my knight. Knight landmine. Knight landmine. Nice. 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 Oh, I was going too fast. I used to watch this show. It's late night show, and in the show, one of the people said they were tweeting. They were on Twitter, and they said something about how they were like a great host, and they got a DM that said, "Careful, Icarus." And so, I think about that every time I lose a piece. I'm like, I flew too close to the sun. I went way too close. So. All right, we're going to take that pawn now because the pawn moved up. So, cool. All right, so now the bishop could be taken. You're not bothering me. I enjoy talking to you. Cool. Okay, the king is going to run. We got him on the ropes now. We got that king on the ropes. Let's see. All right, we're going to check again, because a free pawn is a free pawn, right? That G5 pawn isn't protected, so free is free. That'll also push the king out a little bit further, so that's mainly the reason I went there. So thank you for putting in the effort to translate. I know that's a little frustrating or annoying, it means a lot that you would do something like that to watch and be here. Okay, let's see. All right, we're gonna retreat the bishop, because I do have the ability to put the bishop on b5. Oof. Okay. I really hope there's not a landmine there. There's a bishop landmine. I lost my bishop and I lost my queen. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Great play. Great play. I am in dire straits now. I am in trouble. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I'm writing it down. Oh, man. That hurt. I don't know how I'm going to win now. Let's see. You know what? Let's go for it. Just run that pawn up there. That was a lot of work. It was a lot of work building an app, but I'm happy I did it. I am not going to surrender. This isn't over yet. Could I beat Ron Weasley at Wizard's Chess? What's Ron's ELO? How good is Ron Weasley? Oh, man. All right. My king is going to be a weapon of choice. That wasn't the best move because it leaves the pawn unprotected, but I'm not in a good situation here. Maybe I could beat Ron Weasley. Bruh, I think so. I recently played someone that was rated 2000, they said, on light chess, and I won, and I played black, and white has an advantage over black in chess because white goes first. So I was pretty excited about that. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's see if I can come from behind and win here. This is going to be a hustle because I am way behind. I lost a knight to a landmine, I think, right? Let's look at the move log. Yeah, I lost a knight. I lost a bishop, and losing the bishop made my queen vulnerable. So then I lost my queen. So I'm struggling here. Let's see. I could beat Ron. Yeah. I could beat Ron Weasley then in chess. I don't know if it was a fluke that I beat someone that was 2000. I asked, I Googled it, and Gemini told me that a 2000 rating on light chess, depending on where they are, is anywhere from like top 5 to top 14% in the world. So, I feel pretty confident I could beat Ron Weasley at 1800 if I beat someone at 2000. They were very good too, so. Oh man, you're just attacking a lot. Which is the right thing to do. Okay. I don't want to give up my rook. I really need my rook. We'll save the rook. This is difficult. I'm having a rough time on this game. I lost 6 points to traps, and then one of the moves was to do a check so my queen wouldn't be in danger, and then losing the piece that was checking just meant my queen was in danger. So we'll see what happens though. Ron Weasley. I'm gonna put it in once I put it in text, it's been said. I think I could beat Ron Weasley. Let's see. I have to give a little more thought to my moves. All right. Go there. Rook landmine? This is the game that's out to get me, right? Nice. Oh, man. That's crazy. I think I'm in trouble. I thought I was in trouble before, but I'm in even greater trouble right now. Oh, man. Never surrender. Check. Take that. Yeah, I know. You're just going to move out of the way. I'm in so much danger. Like, everywhere around me is just... The walls are closing in, so... This is not... I am not going to do well. I think I'm going to lose. No, maybe. Maybe I could tie it. I don't want to take 2 landmines. I like taking 1. Maybe I can tie it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay. We're just gonna... I'm gonna push some of my pawns. I can't force a stalemate when I have pawns that can move. So... Yeah, that's not good for me. Let's see. All right, let's see. Oh boy. I don't really have any good moves left. Let's just push the pawn. I know it's going to get taken, but push that pawn. See what happens. Okay. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Just don't know what to do with myself. Man, I don't think I can force anything here. Let's do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Maybe, I don't know what level my opponent is, but maybe I can force some sort of tie. I'm gonna try. Yep. All right. I have to take back. I think it's literally my only move. So I had to take back. Okay. Let's go there. To the side of the board. Okay. I just don't know what to do myself. We're going to go back and forth a little bit. Pushing me around with all your pieces. There's so many pieces. I have like nothing. I just have my king. My king is my weapon of choice, though. All right. Let's do that. I think it's a good chance I'm going to lose. Yeah. Ah, I'm running. Oh. The traps. Draw. Let's take a look. Yep. So I can't go anywhere. Tie. I can't go anywhere. So this is a stalemate in chess. When it's your turn, you have to make a move, but it's against the rules to move your king into danger, into check. So I only have my king. I have to move my king, but I can't move my king anywhere without being taken. So it's a tie. Good game. So a way to avoid that in the future is to check me. You know, look at the squares. Always make sure there's a square my king can run to. That bishop on h7 is preventing my king from going to b1. Even though my opponent is one move away from checkmate, like f1 with their queen, that's game over. But my king can't go to b2, c2, d2 because of the rook on g2. My king can't go to d1 because of the queen on f3, and my king can't go to b1 because of the bishop on h7. That means my king can't move. However, my king is currently not in danger. So I'm not in danger, but I can't move to a place where that's safe, so it's a tie. If I was in danger and I couldn't move to a place that was safe, if I was in check, that would be checkmate. No, there's absolutely strategy. Good game. Good game. I'll put the next code in the chat. So that also means I'm going to be playing with one landmine again. No, not at all. No, it's not based on luck. No, at all. I hit a lot of landmines there, so it balanced the game. It's chess with that one twist. All right, so it looks like my opponent has joined. All right. E2 to E4 didn't work out well for me last time, so we're just going to do... Or I didn't do... D2 to D4 didn't work out well, but we're going to try it again. We're going to see if it works out better this time. Okay. I think my opponent wants that diagonal. We're just going to block it with my pawn. I can always protect the pawn with a knight or my bishop. Oh, okay. No landmine. Cool. Okay. That was me crossing my fingers, hoping that there wasn't a landmine there. I'm just chewing ice. I know it's not good for you, but it's like that airy ice. You know what I mean? It's not like the hard, like crunchy ice. It's like the airy ice where you barely touch it and it falls apart. It's delicious. Okay. So I'm looking at b5. My opponent will just block, but they can't block on the c6 square because of my pawn. So I think I'm going to hold that for later. There is luck with the trap placements. Sometimes you hit them. In this version for the app, the trap placements are actually random. With the board game, you can choose where you want to lay them, which adds more skill. Okay, let's see. Let's protect my pawns with my knight. I'm going to solidify my positioning in the center of the board, make it a little bit stronger. Okay. I'm going to move the pawn up. If they don't go bishop to g7, or even if they do, I'm going to go bishop to c2. So, why? Why that? Why that? All right. I'm going to let it be taken. It's okay. Oh, interesting. All right, I'm going to take the pawn. Hopefully they take with their pawn. They take with their pawn? Yeah, okay. That makes things a little bit easier for me. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking here. I like the idea of getting my knight somehow onto e6, because if I have my knight on e6, they take with bishop, I take with pawn. It blocks the escape route for their king, which is pretty good for me. I can get there in 1, 2, 3 moves, but do I want to spend 3 moves doing that? Yeah, okay. I have a backup plan, so we're going to do that. Interesting. Okay, we're going to keep pushing. I like that move to e6. Castling. Castling, huh? Sorry, I'm thinking. Okay. Bishop needs to come out. Okay. I'm going to put more pressure. I'm looking at that g4 square a little bit. Okay. We're going to go and hit that e6 square now with the knight. Thankfully, there wasn't a landmine there, so that was helpful. It forks the bishop and the rook, so the rook, you got to do something to protect the rook. Oh, they didn't. Why? Why? Why did they just take the pawn? That doesn't make sense to me. Okay. We'll take the rook. Okay. Let's see. I can take the knight. No, that won't do anything for me right now. Okay. Let me think. So if I go pawn to g4, they take, I take, they take, I take. Yeah, okay. Go pawn to g4. I know my rook is exposed on h1, but I want to break through. And I think that's the start to breaking through. I care more about breaking through that line. Yeah, it's fine. So, cool. That's what I wanted. And hopefully no landmine? No landmine. Apply that pressure. Apply that pressure. Cool. Okay. My next move is probably queen to d3. Then maybe castle. No. No, this is my next move. Check. Take the bishop. Now we go queen to d3. Yeah, I think that's good. Because queen to d3, opens up where I have an X-ray attack on that pawn on F5, and then I have my other pawn on G5 laid up with it. So it does have protection on like the H6 and the F6 squares. I mean, I know they have a pawn on E7, but my goal is really just to go for the king. I was willing to give up the rook because I had already swapped a rook, and I felt it was beneficial to me to have that bishop in the corner. I'm regretting it a little bit now with the positioning of the knight, but that's okay because I do have the F3 move. Okay. F3. Oh, wow. That's early. Do you normally get up that early? I think... I'm concerned about going to D5. D5 could be a landmine, but I'm looking at it with my queen because it attacks the rook, and I mean, it's pretty good. Yeah, okay. I think I instead want to protect this pawn. I think that's a better move. And then I can bring my knight in by going to H3. I think this is a good way to get through. Excuse me. That makes me so happy. All right, let's take that pawn. I still like my pawn being on G5. It's a really great square to be on. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to get it into Indonesia. I'm gonna look at it this week a little bit more because it's getting it into another country is work. But I mean, I'm not. Indonesia just had a couple more things that I had to do. More so than Canada and India. So I kind of put it on hold because I didn't have enough time to research it to get to do that. But that leaves the pawn on E7 unprotected. I'm gonna go for it. Check. And then I'm going to go a little bit closer. Check. And I think the next move is mate unless there's a pawn landmine. Good game. Good game. Oh, you had them. Okay. One in the corner on H8 and one on A7. So, yeah, good game. The moment your queen stopped protecting that pawn was the moment where things got a little dicey. But that was a good game. Well fought. Thank you for playing again. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and make a new code and put in the chat. Join. Okay. And because I haven't lost a game yet, I've only tied. I'm going to take one landmine. And I don't know. What are we going to do with our first move? Let's do that. Start with that. I don't know who I'm playing, but thank you for playing me. I don't know if it's the same person. All right. I will get there first because I'm playing the white pieces. And white goes first. Let's see. Okay. We'll block our bishop. I like to set up that X-ray attack for later. That's fair. Did you play the last game, Jim's brother? Was that you? Give some more protection to that pawn in the center. Is this you playing now? All right, more protection for that pawn in the center. That pawn is very important to me. That pawn went to my wedding. I'm not going to give it up easily. That's my buddy. No, don't. The moment I said that pawn was important to me, you attack it? This person, Jim's brother, this person is mean. No, I'm kidding. They're not mean. They're just playing chess. Okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. They almost beat me. They tied me, but they almost won. They would have won. If they had checked me a little bit more, they definitely would have won. Yeah, they want to win. I can tell. I agree. You're doing a good job of distracting me. Is everyone here rooting against me? Let's do that. I'm going to put my knight right in the middle. It's not protected. Looks crazy, but it blocks that pawn from moving on d5 because then the bishop on b7 will be taken. Oh, okay. That's okay. We're going to keep going with our plan. Yep, I figured that pawn was coming, but that's okay. I have some ideas here. Yeah, I need 2 landmines. My puppy's good. My puppy's about 4 months old. Learned, or over 4 months. Learned a lot of tricks so far. So I'm pretty happy. Thanks a bunch. That's really kind of you. Yeah, that's really kind of you. So I wanted to tell you, I did that move specifically because my knight is in danger. Now, if the pawn takes, I can take the bishop. The bishop is protected by the queen, but that'll like make things a little easier. Let's see. I just like putting myself in unique situations sometimes because it's fun to like try to fight your way out. Let's see. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do it. Take that knight, check. You know, I really am enjoying myself playing with everyone. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, you got to get me 2 landmines. You'll get there. It'll get there. I'm definitely going to lose a game. There's no way I can win like every game. That's impossible. All right. Do that. Yeah, you saw the trap. But there was a second trap. Oops. I did that backwards. I wasn't thinking clearly. What I wanted to do first was... I need to slow down. I'm going very quickly. I wanted to do queen g4 first to protect it. And I messed that up because I wasn't thinking. So, all right. I'm just kind of moving fast and wild. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. I'm behind on quite a few pieces now because I'm going too fast. You know, it's working, Jim's brother. You're successfully distracting me. You're on point. Let's see. And thanks a lot, Renazmi. I'm doing my best. You rock. Thanks for checking this out. All right, we're gonna get my queen out. So this is gonna be like a tempo thing. Moving my queen to check. We'll get my queen out. I wanted to put my queen there first, actually, and I wasn't thinking. For some reason, I was like, oh yeah, it's protected, and it totally wasn't, because it would have been queen here, then bishop on g5. Then things are a little dicey for my opponent. That was the actual plan, but I messed that up. So we'll do that. Put my queen on a spot where I can break through. Cool, because now I have A8, the corner, as a potential move, which is awesome. I'm gonna go. Interesting. All right. I got it. This is what I wanted. This is what you were waiting for, Jim's brother. You were waiting for me to mess up. And this is going to be so messed up. Oh, interesting. Go here. The idea was if they moved their king, it would have been a fork on the queen. I know my queen would have been in danger too, but when does that stop me? Oh, you want to trade. Okay. You want to trade queens? See? This is where I look. This person's a lot better. They're playing much better. If it's the same person, they're playing better. And I am not playing at my best. But that doesn't mean I can't find something really cool here. That knight on g8 is annoying. Okay. I kind of need my queen right now, so we're not going to do a trade. But I'll fight my way out and trade a knight to get out. Let's see here. So, interesting you took it with the queen. I didn't think you'd do that. If I do, because you have the move to just block me in again. I'm like one move behind because of that bishop thing I did. Can't take the pawn because of that. No, that won't work. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like rook to e5 as a possibility, but I think it's just easier to run with my queen right now. I think that's a better move. Yeah, let's get out of there. That's a better move. Because like that pin won't last. I liked my queen being that close to the king, but there's not much I can do with all that protection there currently. So I have to find a way around it. It's not easy. I tell my nephew, I go, you know, it's not easy being cheesy. And he's been repeating it, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay. Let's get some of these other pieces out. Okay. just do that. If I go back there, I don't want you to do that. All right, we'll do that. Got to give this some thought. Stroking my chin makes me think better, I think. Yes. Yes. I'll be live next week too. I try to do every Wednesday. I have like my mouse in my hand, like I'm gonna click on the screen and move it, but it's on my phone. Okay. We're gonna retreat again. This will give me a square I can run to. Nice move, nice move. It does, right? You stroke the chin and you feel it up here. I have to be careful though, because it's my computer generates a lot of heat, so it's hot in here. If I do this too much, I'll generate too much heat up here and I'll fry it. You know, my brain will fry. Don't want that. There's a poker player that always says like, not like that. So doing this might work. Maybe is this better or this better? I don't know. It's all about the chin hair, really. That's what makes a good chess player. I'm just saying ridiculous things. Okay. 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 I'm gonna go back. Is the bzzzt sound the sound of you shaving? Like, are you trying to shave my chin hair off? Okay. Oh. Why would I be electrocuted? I haven't done anything to deserve that. As far as I know. Just my brain frying? It just bzz, done. Okay, let's try to get this tempo going. Still a check. Still a check. Nice. Rook landmine. Nice. Okay. That hurt. Kaboom. That one hurt. Oh, man. Looks like I'm going to be going to 2 landmines after this game. My opponent is using the landmines very well. Very well. It's making it difficult. That's so good. I love like sour things, and that's like this sour drink I found at Costco. Love Costco. Okay. We'll just go pawn. It was great seeing you again. We're coming. It was really nice of you to come. I know it's really late where you are, or really early rather. So thank you. All right, I'm going to march that pawn up and do some damage. Yeah, this is not good for me. Let's try this. We're going to give that pawn some protection and start pushing it. I'm behind so many pieces, but that doesn't mean I can't try to do my best. Ha! It worked. I think my opponent is watching the stream, and when I say things, they know what I'm thinking. But here, I said what I wasn't thinking, and I tricked them, and I got the knight for free. Interesting. I think that's the secret. I have to say something different than what I actually want to do. All right. We'll go here. We're eyeing that pawn on a7. Or was I? It was a trap. See? They're watching. That's the secret. The secret is to say you're doing something else and then just go for it. That's the only way this works. All right. See you next time. See you next time. It was great seeing you again. How do I do the wavy hands? Those are really cool. Oh, there they are. I like the little wavy hands. Oh, man. Look at this aggression. So aggressive. I'm gonna run. That's true. I've lost quite a few pieces on landmines so far. We'll go rook. I'm certain they haven't cared about that pawn, so I'm pretty sure that's a queen landmine. I wanted to take it with the queen, but I think it's a trap. Let's see if I can pull a win out of this. I don't think so. I don't think there's any way I can win this, but I'll do my best. I got trapped. That was a good move. Good move. Let's see. Yeah, I made a mistake there. You know, it's not a really good way out. All right, we'll do that. It's the best move I can see in a bad situation. Because I can save my queen that way. Let's keep doing this. I think this is the way. It seems you know about threefold repetition. That doesn't mean I can't do it again. Yeah, I figured the bishop would come in. Okay. Oh boy, you're well defended. I gotta retreat. That's all I can do. Good game. Good game. Woo! Staying at one landmine. It worked. It worked. Woo! Good game. Oh, man. My king is just completely out there. Let's see where the landmines were. I was so close to hitting that landmine on D5 and on C8. I was close. Wow. Good game. All right, let's do another one. Having a good time. That was so nice of that person coming to, like, even though it's the timing in their country is really early. It's just really nice. Makes me really happy. You know, I made this to make people happy, and also I wanted I've noticed a lot of people. Yeah, I made it to make people happy, basically, and so seeing someone join and come just to like watch means a lot. Is this you, Jim's brother? Are you in this game? Because if it's not, it's the person that's out for blood. They're they're coming for me. They want it bad. They were close there. They want it so bad. I thought I was done that one. I thought I was done the one before that. So I'm going to focus now, and I'm going to do my best to make less mistakes. If I lose things to landmines, that's okay. But if I'm making mistakes, then I'll feel a little, I'll beat myself up a little bit because I shouldn't be making mistakes like that. All right, let's block. All right, so I'm just blocking it. Yeah, it's time to focus up. I have two pieces defending that pawn on d5. I have my knight on c3 and my queen on d1. So both are great for defending. Go ahead and protect it again. Yeah, the ring glare is gone. So I moved the cabinet. You see, I moved the cabinet over just slightly so the ring doesn't glare on it because I have lighting here to make it a little bit easier. So I just moved it over a little bit. Yeah, and now it doesn't hit. Let me see. They won't take with the pawn, I don't think, if I take on c6. Then I'll just trade queens, and they won't be able to castle. let's do that. Nice. Pawn landmine. Nice. Good play. Nice. Yep. And the pawn landmine lets you attack. So really good play. So now I'm down with things in the center of the board. Totally makes sense. Okay. I'm down 2 pawns for that. Okay, I'm just gonna keep developing though. I wanna develop my pieces, get into a situation where it's a little safer. Oh, going for the knight. Okay, I will take back. Let's see. We're gonna set up that X-ray attack again with that pawn on C3. Okay, let's see. I made a mistake again. What am I doing? Wow, I didn't even see it. Maybe I'm... Okay, let's think. Let's think. Okay, could do that. Okay. I'm gonna come up with a plan. I know the bishop's just gonna run, but I like fighting losing positions actually. It makes me better. I have a hard time getting good at chess because I play people of all different skill levels, but I want to get better. It's just it's difficult because if you're teaching, you're looking to teach people things and set things up. You're not looking to win. And then if you're looking to win, you're pulling back on the teaching, and I really value like teaching. I think it's great. I think education is fantastic. So it's like this fine line. It's difficult to maneuver around. Okay. So let's just take it easy and take my time. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's look at everything. Okay, we're gonna do that. This is focus mode. Focus mode. Oh yeah, the temperature in the room has increased by about 2 degrees. I'm really happy that wasn't a landmine. If that was a landmine, I'd be losing my rook in the corner. All right, I'm going to pull out some sneaky stuff. Blocked my plan. That seems crazy. That seems crazy, but I have a plan for it. I know that looks weird. Just moving the king, but I have a plan. I don't think they saw that. I was prepared for that. I knew that that fork wouldn't work because I had my bishop over there. Such a weird move, moving my king over. But now it's starting to make sense, I hope. Right? No landmine? No landmine. Yeah, that's applying a good amount of pressure now. The pawn can't take because of the rook on e1. The rook on e1 is pinning the pawn, right? The rook on e1 is pinning the pawn on e6, so it can't take. It's also threatening some nasty stuff. It's like if I check, yep, the queen is in danger. Whew. I was so sure there was going to be a landmine there. Yeah, you got to safety just in time, but doesn't mean I can't keep attacking. All right, let's backtrack and put that rook back there. I like having my knight there. It like blocks the queen. No. I'm so scared that I'm going to hit a landmine. Like I feel it coming, you know? You just know it. You know it's going to happen. I'm going to give this game my all. I'm going to focus so much. Yeah. I hope you see what's going on here. Are you watching, Jim's brother? Some fancy moves going on here, right? It's true. I'm not too concerned. I have a plan. It's a good plan. As long as there's no landmines, this is going to be game over. Thought there was a landmine. Good game. Good game. That was a good one. Oh, I was really close. That D6 square was a landmine. That D6 square was dangerous. And I was on E5, so I was pretty close to it. Yeah, the fact that my pawn was on c5 helped a lot because my opponent would have absolutely taken my knight on d6 if my pawn wasn't protecting it, because I know I would have taken back with the pawn. Yeah, so, whew. And then there was the corner one, so good game. All right, I'm going to set up another one. JBXPKM. Join. Alright, I'm still at one landmine. Whoever I'm playing right now, if it's the same person, I'm going to give you my all. I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to go for it. I think I know who it is. And it's really nice of them to play with me. Okay. Do this. It's probably fine. Right? It's a nail biter. It's crazy. I agree. It was so close. All right, I'm not gonna. Nice. Pawn landmine. Nice. Right off the bat, we're down a pawn. I know. This is a big one. Nah, we're not going to let that knight come any further. Yeah, so this is like, I got it from Costco. It was called like a Suja. It's pretty good. Yeah, it was called a Suja. And it's like a ginger drink. It's pretty good. I like it. It's on sale right now, I think. And I think it'll be on sale again on the new sales start on June 15th. Look at me. I'm just advertising Costco. Because I love it. It's a great place for a date. You know, my wife will be like, "Oh, let's go shopping," and I'm like, "Date day?" And she's like, "It's not a date." I'm like, "Is it Costco?" Because if it's Costco, I think that's a date. Yeah, that knight can't come any further forward, so I'm not concerned about it right now. looking at some possibilities. All right, let's do that. That must mean you want to move that knight. Move it back. Okay. That's what I thought. I'm going to protect the bishop. I'm not going to take. I know there isn't a bishop landmine on g7, because if there was, they wouldn't have gone through the trouble of protecting it with their rook. But I had a plan for this. I don't really want to take. Ah, okay. I do want to take. I have an idea. I have a good next move. So, yeah, we're just going to put a pawn there, stop it, open up my bishop on f1 to take the pawn on b5, and do a check. Yeah. Follow through. Pin that knight. That pawn on d4 became a problem for them. It's like a central pawn being protected by a bishop, a queen, and a knight. I have 3 defenders, and you only have a... Yeah, they had 2 attackers, so they went, oh, let's get another one in. But another one isn't going to save them. That makes me want to go d4, d5, but I know I still have that bishop on a... Yeah, we'll do it. Ah, landmine. Nice, nice. But it still opens up a check. So I was okay with it. It was bait. But it opens up the check still, so it's totally fine. And, we're going to follow through with a few things here. And I know there's not a landmine there because they set up the rook to take it. All right. We're going to start bringing other pieces in. The king can't run. It's not in a good spot. So I'm going to use that to my advantage to launch an attack. The bishop on b5 is blocking the king from going d7, e8. If they try to run that way again. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I could castle queenside. I'll put my rook on d1. I don't think that's the best though, because when that bishop comes out, my knight can get pinned. We'll just go rook here. I think that's good. Because when I check with the knight on d5, the king can't go, like he can't run forward. He can't go b6. And now we're going to see how they respond. Yeah, I thought they'd run back. I'm going to attack the rook. Good. I'm going to pin their knight. The only thing protecting that knight is that pawn on e7. So that's pretty good for me. And I think next, maybe I could castle. No, I don't like that. Put the bishop to safety. Also keeping it on my side of the board means I don't have to worry about the landmines. Yeah, a lot of big trades happening, right, Jim's brother? All right, we're gonna go there. I love using my knights. I love it when they're together. Gives me so many possibilities. You fell for it. The bishop and the pawn were both stopping that earlier. But both of them have moved, so... We'll push him to the corner. That'll be beneficial later. Okay. We'll take that rook now. That fork that we set up earlier. Fork is nice. So we're going to take the rook because it's a free rook. But I like that before I did that, I pushed the king towards the corner. I think that was good. Nom nom nom. So that was a good fork there too. They're forking my knight and my my bishop. A good way to get out of a fork, so you don't have to worry about it, is to continue attacking. So they take my knight, I take their knight. There's no other immediate danger here, so I'm okay with that. And their bishop is lined up on the G2 square, not the F2 square. I said... Let's see. I was going to castle, but not anymore. I'm not allowed anymore. My opponent said, no, you're not allowed to castle. So there goes my second rook moving. It's okay. They took a pawn, I'll take a pawn. I will absolutely trade, but it's not. I thought they had a bishop landmine there because it wasn't protected. So I was like, yes, I'm going to trade, but they didn't have one, so it was just a free bishop. All right, let's attack the rook. Doing that also blocks the C7 and B7 squares from their king escaping. So it keeps the king closer to the corner. My next move has to be to move my king out of the way, I think. Unless I get attacked, but if I get attacked, I'll defend. I have a rook that can defend. And my bishop is protecting that pawn, so I don't have to worry much. Alright. Bring the king out. Bishop will take. I think this will be my last game. I'm actually behind on like scheduling videos and stuff, so after this game I'll get caught up. I've had a lot going on lately, and work has been busy, so I'm a little behind. I don't know why I put the rook there if I was going to put the bishop back. Check. It's a good game. It's going to be checkmate soon. I missed that square that they could get away there. I'll trade. I think I'm going to run my king up. Because they have that whole wall of pawns they can hide behind. I start destroying them with my king and my bishop and stuff, it'll be good. I'm coming. Oh yeah, it was so close. I'm so afraid of hitting landmines now. I hit way too many. I knew that square was safe for bishops. Bishop landmine. I knew it. Oh man, I was trying to block the king from like escaping. And that's what I get. Yeah, boom. So I'm basically trying to do this where I can checkmate them and not worry about the rook landmines as much. That's the goal. Yeah, there's no king landmine, so my king can do whatever. Cool. We'll get there. We'll get there. Now that that pawn's on my side, it's a little bit safer for me. Cool. Okay, we got this now. Yeah, not having king landmines means I can do this and I can take my time with it. Because the 50 move rule is if a pawn piece hasn't been taken and a pawn hasn't been progressed. So as long as I follow that rule, I'll be okay. Good. All right, that's game. No getting out of it now. Good game. I'm on my half of the board, so my half of the board is safe. I don't have to worry about the landmines here. So I can just go bop, bop, bop with my rooks. Yep. Good game. Good game. That was a lot of fun. I had a great time streaming today. So many people came. It was awesome. Oh, I was so close to that landmine. The two rook landmines were like in the way on d6 and a5. The way I was going, I may have hit one if I didn't pull back and checkmate this way. So I'm happy I did that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Good game. Good game. Had a great time playing with everyone today. So thanks a bunch, and thanks for checking it out, Jim's brother. Thanks for coming in. It was nice to see you, and yeah, I hope everyone has a great night. Bye.